All right, everybody, welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3 for the week from a mega tournament that my locals hosted on the 29th. I believe the last locals before Magnificent Mavens was released. And here in this matchup, we have Adventurer Sprite on the left versus Danger Tier on the right. And we are going to be seeing a lot of Tier going forward here on this channel. I'm sure there's going to be a metric ton of people playing the Tier deck with the new Ishizu cards. And I apologize in advance, but this is just kind of the world we live in now, post Magnificent Mavens. And can somebody even tell me what the hell even is a Mavens? Why is the set called Magnificent Mavens? Who is Mavens, and why are they so magnificent? That's just a burning question that I have, and thank you to anybody that answers it. So we're going to go ahead and see him to start with Adventurer cards, activating right, getting into Fateful Token, Griffin Rider, activate starter, get blue on board, blue grab Jet, also grab Draco back. So getting the whole Adventure engine out onto the board before, of course, they are locked by starter. Grabbing a copy of Smashers, going into Gigantic now, Gigantic effect, go ahead and attach to Summon. Going to go ahead and bring out Swap Frog. Interesting enough, we're still seeing people on the Swap Frog engine, which, I mean, I totally understand why. Normal summon Cap Shell, link it off into Elf. Cap Shell effect, go ahead and draw. We can go ahead and bring back the Swap Frog here to get access to a copy of Totally Awesome. So there it is. Toad, Griffin Rider, set Smashers. Set another card. Pretty okay end board. Although, seemingly a bit underwhelming. I know, it's like basically borderline standard Sprite end board. I mean, even pre-Ronin ban, but seemingly subpar for the format that we are going into and currently are in. I mean, this is the 4th already. The set's officially released. We're going to see him activate, though, a copy of the new Tier MST, basically, but if you have Visa Starfrost, you can get rid of 2 by shuffling it back into the deck. Quick play spell, discarding a copy of Snake, or sending a copy of Snake, rather. We're going to see him activate Pearl-Rhino. That's going to go ahead and eat the Griffin Rider. Well, the Griffin Rider, rather, is going to eat the Pearl-Rhino, shuffling itself back into the deck. And then Instant Fusion. They always have it. I'm going to count how many times I get Instant Fusion this format until the day that card gets banned, because it is absurd. So we're going to see him go for a copy of Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos effect will go through, I'm assuming, allowing a Super Polyb chain in response, getting rid of the Kit Kalos and the Toad for another Kit Kalos. So we're going to see 2 different effects here. Unless he didn't use Kit Kalos effect on summon and just decided to fuse for another. But he's going to get Nessie, since it was discarded, to go ahead and search for Danger. And then we're going to see a mill 5, Merly, Knight, and Serpent, and a copy of Scream. And then looks like in response, we're going to see, yep, the Kit Kalos resolving. So I'm assuming he didn't resolve the on-field effect. So getting the search of the Rhino Heart there. Elf going to be activated in response, bringing out Toad again. And we're going to see Scream bring out a copy of Solic to the hand, and Knight and Serpent bringing itself back. And then Merly now resolving, going for a fusion summon with Kit Kalos. Could go for Rule Kalos here. Imagine that's probably what we will see. Getting a copy of Solic out of the hand. Whole ton of advantage here. And the only thing that's left to deal with is basically just one more Toad interruption. But it's really not an interruption at this point, since we can just go Battle Phase with a 2300 Kit Kalos and attack right over it for the free. But we do see a damage set Pixies, and that is going to be great help here to keep this Toad alive. It'll drop his opponent down to 48. Rule Kalos will attack over the token. And we're going to see him activate Jackalope here in main phase 2. Probably wasn't expecting the Pixies. I feel like most people don't end up expecting it or respecting the card. Which I understand why. We're going to see the Jackalope get summoned here. And we'll draw and attempt to activate Solic effect. Looks like that is going to eat up the Toad negation. And we're going to go ahead and see Solic, or well, not Solic, Rhino Heart, rather, gets negated. Or not negated, we get normal summon here and be free to play. I find it interesting that he negated the Solic when he knew he had Rhino Heart in hand. I mean, I guess he was worried about Shiren But even at that point, like, I feel like you let him search the Shiren, let him try to resolve it, and then negate whatever name they might hit. But he's going to get direct access to Havness now with the Rhino Heart. Go for a fusion summon of Kaleido Heart. And then Kaleido Heart effect will get rid of the Fateful Adventure, so no free searches next turn. It's bothering me that I don't know the name of that Tearlament quick play. Tearlament's Heartbeat, that's what it is. Okay, had to look it up on Dueling Book real quick. So, ending on just Roll Kalos, Kaleido Heart, and going for a copy of Dark, taking Cap Shell, linking off Cap Shell and Dark, into a Sprite Elf of his own, and then Cap Shell will allow his opponent to draw a card, since it was used for the material of a link, but it did hit his graveyard. And we're going to see a Nibiru as he attempts to leave main phase 2. Roll Kalos will negate the Nibiru, sending off the Kaleido Heart. And then we will see Kaleido Heart effect activate to bring itself back, dumping an Aqua. It's going to be Shiren this time around. And we could see him also go for a Dragostapelia here, or could go for a Mud Dragon. Looks like he's just going to recycle a Nessie back into the deck alongside the Shiren that was sent. Maybe, I mean, I don't really see a true reason to go for another Kid Kalos. Could go for possibly, can't go for, yeah, can go for Garura. They're both Dark Aquas. Who am I kidding? So it goes with the Garura. Pass the turn on that. We're going to see our Sprite Adventure Player, normal summon Swap Frog. No effect, of course. Special summon Blue, blue effect. All being inherent summons, right? All the Sprite monsters. So Roll Kalos doesn't have a say in whether or not they can be summoned. Going to go ahead and add a copy of Sprite Red. Overlaying the blue and the swap into Onibimaru. Attempting effect to go ahead and banish. It does have to banish, importantly, the Kaleido Heart, since the other two monsters are being pointed at by the elf and they cannot be targeted. Also, guys, shout out to Imperium Duelist. Check them out at the link below alongside my discount code as well to support the channel. So right now, it looks like we could be getting into a bit of a grindy game state here. Both boards relatively small. Gone through quite a bit of advantage. The adventure engine has been cut off for the time being, thanks to the Kaleido Heart the previous turn. Spinning the Fateful Adventure back into the deck, and we also did see the Kaleido Heart get banished by the Onibimaru, but of course it will return, because Onibimaru does not banish permanently. It's just a matter of figuring out where to go from here, as there are still quite a few threats on field, Roll Kalos being one of them, and as well as Elf, and we'll see him go battle phase and activate Gamma Burst. It's going to help him get right over the Roll Kalos, and then we're going to see him activate Elf, and in response, his opponent will chain the Elf of his own, bringing back Dark. He'll get Toad back on board as well. And I just want to go ahead and double check Onibimaru's wording. Attach one material from this card, and the target one monster your opponent controls. Banish it until your opponent's end phase. If this card is in its owner's control, destroyed by an opponent's card. You can target one banished monsters up to the number of materials this card had. Shuffle them into the deck. Interesting effect. So yeah, the Kaleido Heart will come back. Should come back. I'm hoping it comes back during the next end phase of our opponent. But you do have Toad reestablished. Unfortunately, Onibimaru is not a quick effect, so it won't act as an interruption going into next turn. So the question is, can we do something with it right now to turn it into an interruption? Do we go for a gigantic play? What is the move here, essentially? But he does have red, so we'll special summon that out to the field. And I guess it can basically be free red fodder, and it will negate and destroy, since it is sending off a Xyz, rank 2. Just going to go ahead and pass turn there. Just on red, Elf, Toad, and Onibimaru, one set. We know that to be the Draco back. Just kind of a bluff at this point. But Pixies can also send itself off from field, which I learned for the first time the other day. So now we are going to see the tier player attempt to go into the battle phase here, where our Sprite player will use their Elf to bring out Pixies. And this will force our tier player to have to swing into the Pixies. Can't get on anything else right now until the Pixies is cleared. So Guru attack over the Pixies. Dark attack over the red, getting rid of an interruption. Technically kind of 2 interruptions there. Linking into Spright, Chainlink 1 Spright, Chainlink 2 Guru. Go ahead and draw a card. Spright effect. Go ahead and send a level 2. And what's busted here in this interaction is that Merly happens to be a level 2. So this might as well be just Foolish Burial on legs plus Polymerization. So he's going to go ahead and attempt to fuse with the Merly. Toad will attempt to negate, and he's going to chain Elf in response to bring Merly out of the graveyard, activating Merly's on-field effect now. Toad, of course, is going to go ahead and add back a Swap Frog to the hand. And we're going to see him go for Card Trooper here, essentially. Will we hit another name? Hits a, I think, copy of Crime, a Scream, and a Solic, or not a Solic, a Shiren, rather. So, does hit the money there. Scream will add a copy of Solic. I believe, yeah, that is a copy of Crime that was sent. And Shiren will resolve, being able to fuse with Rule Kalos and Shiren for Kit Kalos. And I think that's one of the most broken things about Rule Kalos is the fact that it can be used as fusion material and be recycled back into the deck so easily. It's kind of one of the downfalls of Kaleido Heart, but they definitely ended up fixing that when making Rule Kalos for sure. So we're going to see him activate a copy of Scream. So now has the opportunity to get some free mills during the opponent's turn. And of course, Elf staying on board means that it can bring out Merly whenever. As long as he has another copy in the grave, of course. And end phase, Onibimaru is going to go ahead and attempt to bring back the Kaleido Heart. And looks like there might be some sort of ruling question here. Not entirely sure how or what it's about. This also has me thinking, I've been thinking about this for a while. Trying to figure out a way to do commentary over these types of matches and also still be able to hear the players talk, because sometimes I do have to do some guesswork and going back and looking at the actual footage and listening into what they were saying at the time so I can better commentate, and that just takes up a lot of time. So I'm not sure. I might change up how I do these videos in the future so I can listen into what people are saying and be able to respond to that. That way we get a more sort of like complete picture of what's going on in the game, and, you know, less guesswork, I feel like, which is always better. Not only for me commentating, but for you guys watching at home. So we're going to see our tier player pass turn there. Obviously, Onibimaru bringing back the Kaleido Heart. And we're going to see our Sprite player start by activating Onibimaru, attempting to banish the Kaleido Heart yet again. It looks like we're going to see him chain Solic, targeting Elf. And it looks like he's going to be forced to activate Elf here in response, thinking carefully about what he wants to bring out. Looks like he's going to bring out a copy of the blue. And Solic is going to send off the Kaleido Heart, dodging the target for Onibimaru. And we're going to see the chain links here of Scream also activating to mill 3, hitting a Havness. Really solid mill there. Blue's going to add Jet. And we're going to see Kaleido Heart use its effect, dumping a Shiren to the grave to bring itself back. And then we're going to see the Havness resolve. And Kaleido Heart's going to spin back the set, which we know to be the Draco back. Goes for Dragostapelia off the Havness. Now resolving Shiren. So many things happening here. Going for Kit Kalos effect. Dumping Merly. Fusion summoning the Merly and the Kit Kalos into Rule Kalos. And just like that, full board established completely during the opponent's turn. Kaleido Heart being back, Dragostapelia now here, and Rule Kalos also being here. But our Sprite player does have an Xyz monster, and it is battling. And I think we all know where this is going. So we're going to see him go ahead and look for a possible Zeus line. Special summon Jet effect that will get negated by the Dragostapelia. And cannot overlay into Skycav because that Jet would actually be level 1 because of the token. Which is unfortunate. But he still definitely had a way to Zeus. Just had to go for Gigantic. And then into Downward. And then into Zeus. So there was definitely still a 4-material Zeus line there. I think he might have just overlooked the token. Or the counter, rather. The Predator counter. I think both players obviously overlooking that. And we'll see Rule Kalos bring itself back. It's going to get Zeused again. Since it was not a fusion summon monster this time around from being brought back, it will not summon itself back. And then we're going to see him just normal summon Swap Frog, go into Elf, and pass turn. Very, very grindy game one we are seeing here. Both players going through everything they have right now. Activate Sharon, sending off Havness. Activate Havness, chain Elf, bring back Toad. Havness will resolve by fusing itself and rule Kalos, going for Kit Kalos. These fusion summons losing a little bit of value here as time goes on. No effect of Kit Kalos, just battle phase Sharon over Elf, and then Kit Kalos over the Toad. Toad graveyard effect, go ahead and add back a copy of Swap. And then Kit Kalos effect on itself, it's going to get Veilered here in main phase 2. Setting a card and passing turn. Normal summon Swap Frog, special summon Blue. Blue effect, go ahead and search. And this honestly just might be the point in the game where our Sprite player can finally take the driver's seat. Both players have been battling for it left and right here. A lot of back and forth. Jet's going to go ahead and search Smashers. And what is left in the extra deck here? Going to go ahead and link into another Elf. Activate Elf, bringing back Toad. Overlaying Gigantic and Elf into, well, overlaying Jet and Elf into Gigantic. And that is going to be it. Quite a grindy game one. It was well over 30 minutes that game. We're into game 2. Shoutouts to TCG Player and the Coldest Water. Don't forget to use my affiliate links I have to their site down in the description. So we will see Danger Tier go first, but we will see a standby phase Dimension Shifter from the Sprite player. Not really surprising, something we've been seeing a lot of lately. The past few weeks and months, Sprite getting to side D Shifter as the deck. Really just not super hurt by it. Infusion's going to bring out Mud Dragon this time around. Normal summon a copy of Rhino Heart for no effect. And was looking at Toad there and a Bahamut Shark, but we need... Well, could have actually gone for Bahamut Toad there, since he did have 2 level 4 waters, but he's gonna opt to go for a Blind Dweller against the Sprite deck. Yeah, really perplexing play there. I feel like he would have been much better off going for Bahamut Toad, unless I'm just missing something. Cosmic's gonna take out a Heartbeat, and then we're gonna see him activate Enchantress from hand to get right. Fateful and Token. All in play, activating Draco back, bouncing back the Dweller, and the Mud Dragon will get banished. Normal summon Jet, special summon Blue. Blue is probably going to go ahead and add Jet. Jet effect to go ahead and search. Could go for the Gamma Burst, and I think that is just game outright. We're going to see a very swift OTK after that insanely grindy game 1. Sprite Adventurer taking it. Questionable that he went Dweller there. I really don't know what the Dweller line was supposed to do, especially under Shifter. Huge misplay there. That's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Last but not least, a big shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Pony Star, Cadillacs84, Justino, and HDH Cyber. Thank you guys so much as always for extremely kind and generous support of this channel.